G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an Instigating 50 cal machine gun with bullets exploding for area damage as a secondary legendary effect. Now, we've observed in the past that heavy guns with a high rate of fire, such as the light machine gun, can carry the Instigating legendary effect for more than the first strike, which, shouldn't work because your target after shooting them once is going to be not at full health, so logically the instigating effect wouldn't proc, but due to lag or whatever, I'm not really sure how the game calculates it, that kind of just gets thrown out the window, and you can get 2 times damage if your attacks are fast enough. But I tested that with an LMG, so I'm going to see if the 50 cal machine gun is actually fast enough to proc that. If it isn't, we'll get a nice reminder of what this thing can do with the explosive legendary bullets with no other crazy bloody boosts going onto it. Just to see how it does. So I got the heavy barrel on this, the standard receiver, giving us 58 damage, which is not too bad as a starting point. Obviously having a pretty high base damage, it's not the lowest that it ever was, but having a decently high base damage allows us to get a decent amount of explosive damage on top of that, because you get, like 25% of your base damage is converted into, or is added with the explosive damage, and you can boost that a bit further with good old Demo Expert. Remember, it's a heavy weapon, but it's not a launcher. It's not a grenade launcher or a missile launcher, so we can get the benefits of both Heavy Gunner and Demo Expert at the same time. And now we're doing 117 damage. That's the Halo number. That's the Spartan, what's his name? The green one. Okay, so here we are at the green detergent production facility, and we're in power armor once again. It's all Strangler Hut, except for the helmet. I've taken the helmet off, replaced it with the Nuka-Goal fishbowl, and we look like a space marine again. And basically that is to make sure my instigating effect isn't procced, or isn't removed by any enemies that are too close to me. I burn them with a little bit of extra... Okay, I burn them with the extra acid damage that this thing provides, and then... It looks like the first couple of shots we get that damage, but then the third shot is enough to actually say, hang on, the game's a little bit... Yeah, okay, it's like basically the first 2 shots that I get have the extra damage attached to it. But as you can tell, this thing probably doesn't really need to have that extra 2 damage, because, hitting them for how much are we going now? We've got 177, sorry, double that, that's like 320-ish, so... That is 640, and that's already enough to almost kill a super mutant. If we get a headshot, well, we're almost there. So, I can't unequip this item. I think it was talking about the fusion core that it is drained. So, no problems with this thing's damage output thus far, and I don't think we'll have many problems with that throughout the video. If anything, it's going to be the enemies that are a little bit too close together, where I can only bounce a splash damage off that might screw me over a little bit, because the splash damage will bring them down below their full health threshold, and then I won't get nearly as much damage. But, bouncing damage off like that is sort of efficient for bullets anyway. It's not too much of a loss because we're doing so much damage as is, so we'll head inside. Alright, we're on the inside now, and this should probably be a piece of piss, so we can play as aggressive as we like. I can't believe that guy hid from me, and he survived that. I think we lost our adrenaline, maybe? I'm not really sure, but all of the hits we're getting is going to eventually raise our DPS thanks to adrenal reaction, so that's good. I'm not really fussed about accidentally shooting myself. I just leveled up, so I got a full heal off then, but, it's pretty good. Nothing can really get by my armor. It's set up to basically give me as much resistance as I possibly can, at least for my build. So I've got the emergency protocols, which are laying dormant right now, but if I happen to get myself enough badly damaged, that'll kick in. The movement speed probably isn't, doing anything because of Speed Demon, but that extra 50% damage resistance would probably allow me to do more tanking. But the dodgy thing that I've got on now is decent enough, and the tankiness that the power armor provides is already good. Got a little bit of fireproof as well to, stop the damage, the splash damage from killing me. That was definitely the first 2 shots on that guy was enough to get him. So if I aim for the head, I should logically be able to one-shot these guys, right? Maybe? Not really sure. And here's where the splash damage screws me over there. There was a couple of dudes around there. Could only hit one directly with the bullets, and, paid the price because of that. That doggo died in midair, which was kind of amusing, I suppose. But yeah, not having too much problems with this thing, actually. Barely any problems at all. It is a little bit bugged, but even if it didn't carry this extra fucking damage bug with it, I feel like we'll be still doing good. And I want to shoot a super mutant in the head, just the one shot, see if we can actually take them in one shot. Now we're at 50% health, which should boost our adrenaline damage to 203. So what? That's 400. We already killed these guys. You know, the 400, and then you know that's doubled again. No, just the 400. If I wanted to double it again, it'll be a sneak critical. But I mean, I could do that. Isn't quite enough to one-shot them with the single one, but I wasn't sneaking then. But you know, there's no real point of sneaking when my gun's just good anyway. So, I guess we'll keep on going. We'll quickly round up this way and clear these guys out. But honestly, I think you get the point. I don't need to go through the hell room here. Probably want to see me throw some ghoul torsos, legs, arms around, you name it. And oh no, I appear to be even more badly damaged. What's that going to do to my damage output? I saw 491 there, so, you know, that's pretty high, and we get an extra bit of explosive damage as well. So, over 500 for just a 50 cal, which, you know, seems a little bit, you know, what it'd do without all of these buffs, but, you know. Alright, so I suppose what I'll do is, instead of charging in, I'll just aggro the tools by putting some bullets through there. Oh, I've still got luck of the draw on. Something like that. And now I can sit there in this spot, just hosing them down as they come along. This is the best part of my day. This is so satisfying. I love doing this. This choke point is great. I kind of wish the genius who made this particular cell with this choke point and this many tools running at you at once designed more stuff in Fallout 4 to be like this, because it's so good. I love doing that, because look at all these corpses you can just search right away. You don't have to go look for them. You've got this big old gun, and it's great. We're not super done yet. In fact, there's a rad roach right there, and of course this one's probably still here. Yep, of course. And we're still in danger, so there's a couple of ghouls that were smart enough to not round the corner to the massive kill zone upstairs. The smell of exploded ghoul must be overpowering. Luckily I've got the fishbowl on my head, so I likely can't smell a thing. You'd think that I have something filters on them. Ooh, I don't know actually. Would you be able to smell anything in power armor? Because they've got the gas mask, and that's going to filter out most of the bad stuff, right? I mean, what would ghouls smell like anyway? Probably shit, to be honest. Shit, brains, gore, all of the bad stuff that you probably don't want to be smelling. So yeah, you keep that fishbowl on. Ah, yes, there's Swan over there. What I want to do is get a nice flanking shot on him if I can, and then try to, you know, rip his brains out of his head directly with some 50 cals. It seemed to work alright, I suppose. Okay, crab fighting time, and that guy's standing over there. Might as well take him out as fast as I can. You can die. Yeah, I feel like I can just run out into the open and all of the things will just kind of show up eventually. They know I'm here. You, however, can die like that. Good old stabilize, keeping this thing nice and good in the hipfire accuracy. It makes a lot of sense to use these heavy guns with power armor because, nice drop by the way, because, well, the recoil would be immense. You kind of need this giant hydraulic suit to give you a hand in controlling it, especially the minigun. You know, one of the questions I have is what's actually powering the minigun? I gotta assume it's something like, I'm not like the bullets, but the motor, because I'm gonna assume it's got something to do with like nuclear reactors, because maybe they've got something similar to what they have in the Mr. Handy robots, because you actually need quite a lot of power in real life to make the barrel spin up and everything. Also, the recoil would be immense too. They must have some crazy recoil control system. This is a topic for another day. Okay, all of the fights so far have been pretty goddamn easy, but will the train yard smash provide us with some challenge, or we're gonna have to wait to the bats? It is going to be a very easy fight here. So easy that I'm just gonna go around. Oh, nice. Stalker's power fists. What a drop. Loved seeing that out of 3-star monsters, but we'll keep on going. Question time. Yeah, looks like you can get the explosive damage from, the instigating from the explosive damage, which is helpful, but obviously the direct hits are always going to be so much stronger that you never want to bother being too inaccurate. That's kind of, I feel like that's kind of why people think explosives suck so much, because, you know, if they were using explosive, they never have to work on their aim or anything, so, you know, they never got used to actually hitting the shots. I can understand on console because you've got these 2 sticks to aim with, and you know that's really bad. That's why that's why so many console players use Teslas, because aiming is such a pain in the ass because you've got these 2 sticks. But That's okay, I can forgive you for that. PC players need to step up though. I don't want to see anyone missing any shots with anything. That's including me. I suck at my aiming. Righto, apart from any stray, unforeseen damage over time, I feel like this match is over. We've got the enemies now. We know what this thing can do. This thing can really kick some ass. Question is though, will the explosive resistance offered by the Scorched Beast bugs, leave this thing dead in the water? I'm gonna guess no, because this thing is powerful enough anyway to probably stand on its own. But hey, knowing you can bounce a splash damage for double damage, sometimes it feels like that the Instigating legendary effect is not too bad. Oh, we fucking annihilated him. Oh, that's so good. That's strangely really good as compared to other things, but they're only baby Scorched Beasts, and if we were hitting them with a non-explosive one, we probably might have done more damage. Not really sure. If we had an Instigating fire rate one, I certainly would have killed them faster, but you can't argue with that result. Killed them right quick. And that's probably because I'm sitting here in nerd rage because I just can't die. None of these enemies can kill me. The only thing that can kill me is damage over time, which, the Scorched Beasts and all of their Scorch don't usually offer in large amounts. Yeah, some of my bullets weren't registering and some of the bullets were doing a little bit more, so I wonder if we're seeing that soft... I'm going to call it the limb damage bug because it's most pronounced on limb damage, but, well, we'll have to test a Stalker's weapon one of these days to see whether it's just the weird stuff. Although I have noted that my bloodied limb damage minigun does the same thing, so I don't think it's limb damage the common denominator. There's just some legendary perks that just act weird. If you do want to see my legendary minigun of the VATS Enhanced variety, it's kind of interesting because you'd expect the ultimate damage thing to coming out of a limb damage, but no, you could have VATS accuracy too, which is inferior on a minigun anyway, but ooh, is that rubber banding? How could you do this to me, game? This is a private server. I paid for it. Actually, keeping away from the unwashed plebs who use hacked weapons is... I think that's worthy of... that's super worthy of paying what I did for the 12-month subscription. So, thanks Bethesda, you're keeping me away from the player base, which is the main thing that pissed me off. You know what? I'm not even going to bother with these more rights. You get the idea. Thank you for watching, guys.